Namo Tassa Tathagatassa Samma Sambuddhassa. Namaste and hello everyone. It's truly honor to be here and to have the opportunity to connect with such a distinguished audience. Today I invite you to join me for an insightful discussion on the concept of karma from the perspective of Buddha. Rather than delivering a traditional speech, I encourage this to be a conversation, one where you can extend ideas, share your own reasoning, and deepen your understanding to make it more engaging. Together, we can inspire change and create something exceptional. Let's begin. Have you ever thought about why some people seem to have it so good while others have it so tough? I mean, if there is a God and He is the creator of everything, then why did He make every single person different? And why do we all face different challenges and have unequal lives and opportunities? Think about it. For a general understanding, I will like to present an example. In a biscuit factory, the machines there produce thousands of packs of biscuits. All of them are identical in shape and taste, right? So, if a God is so great and perfect, all knowing, all powerful, all that, then why aren't we all given the same life, the same health, the same understanding, the same luck and opportunity? Why do we all have such different fates? Hasn't this question of mystery ever played in your minds? It used to play frequently with me, but not anymore. It's the age old question of fairness, isn't it? You are stuck in traffic and you see someone else just chilling in their fancy car while you are working so hard, doing everything possible and right. And yet, it feels like someone else was just born with privilege. It just doesn't seem fair, right? This exact question, which still gets us today, was once asked directly to the Buddha. The story is simple but powerful one, and it comes from a teaching called the Cūḻakammavibhaṅga Sutra from Majjhima Nikaya, which you can also find it in Tripitaka. So Tripitaka is the canonical Pali canon, which all the teachings of Buddha is being scripted. So in the Diga Nikaya, the first one in the Sutra Pitaka, and the second one is Majjhima Nikaya. So the Cūllakammavibhaṅga Sutra is in this second one, the Majjhima Nikaya. Now let's dive into the answers through this Cūllakammavibhaṅga Sutra. Stay attentive and curious to understand. The story starts with a young guy named Subha. He was a student of an old Brahmin. So Brahmin means a respected religious teacher in times of Buddha, and still in most of South Asian context, the Brahmin is known as someone who is a religious teacher. So Subha was student of one old Brahmin teacher. Subha was troubled by what he kept seeing. Like what he kept saying means like he saw people. Some lived to old age and others who had short lives. Some who often got sick as well as dealing with many illness, and some were healthy and strong their whole life. Some who were not so good looking, and some who were beautiful and attractive. He saw people who were powerful and also weak, poor and rich, some who were just so privileged and other struggling for their entire life. Some people are wise and intelligent, while there are many who aren't so sharp and difficult to understand even basic information. He just couldn't make sense of it all. Generally, he had been taught that everything was created by Mahabrahma, the god of creation, but he was not content with what he knows, while he sees differentiation every day. So, after one remarkable incident in his life, he believed only one person was able to answer his complex question, and that was none other than the Buddha. And he visited Buddha one early morning and put his question in series of why these differences exist. The Buddha's answer to this big question is the whole point of this speech. And it's a message that's both simple and honestly pretty freeing. The Buddha explained that the differences we see in people aren't random at all. They are the result of our own actions, or what we call kamma or karma. So in Pali, we say it kamma, and nowadays it is well known as karma. So the karma means action. So first of all, I would like to put it in his own words, what which is in Pali, obviously. So the Buddha said to their Subha, obviously he was addressing to the Subha, this guy. He said, Sabbe satta kammasaka, kamma dayada, kamma yoni, kamma bandhu, kamma patisarana, yang kammang karissanti, kalyanang va papakang va tassadayada bharista. So before I translate it for easier to understand it, once again, let me keep the term karma as actions. So the Pali verse I referred means that all beings are the owners of their actions, inherent to their actions. And their actions are their origin, kinship, and refusal. What good or bad actions they do, those they will inherit as their results. This isn't about some divine judge punishing or rewarding us. It's a natural, unbreakable law of cause and effect. Think of it this way: every action you take, every choice you make, and every intention you have creates a consequence. It's like a cosmic boomerang. What you send out comes back to you. There is a famous saying, what goes around comes around. So the power to shape your life for better or worse is in your own hands. What's really cool about this teaching is the specific language the Buddha used. When he described the actions that lead to different outcomes, he often said some women or man. This might not seem like a big deal, but it really is. Back then, uh, and even in many places, even today, societies often didn't give women much power or a say. So uh, the, for the Buddha to specifically include both men and women was revolutionary step. It says loud and clear that the law of karma isn't just for me. It applies to every single person and every single being that exists in this universe. No exceptions. It's an ancient way of that everyone has personal power and responsibility. It's a message that fits perfectly with our modern ideas of equality. To make these teachings easy to understand, the Buddha laid out 7 pairs of actions and their results. These pairs gives us a kind of a roadmap for how our choices shape our life. Let me present them shortly. First, for general understanding, according to Buddha's teaching, here Buddha also explained that a person is differentiated from their birth because of their past life karma. And the force of karma highly influences shaping one's fate and condition. But he again mentioned that fates can be alternate with actions of tranquil mind, which he calls the Kushala which means wholesome actions or skillful actions. And it can also alternate fortunate fates with apusala karma or unwholesome actions. But I will talk about this subject later again in detail. And right now, let's continue on the consequences of karma in short, or let me present it in outline for me to remember as well. So let me put it in short, okay? So first, short life versus long life. You see, some people live for a very long time, and some people dies in a very low age or in a small age. Some infant dies. You can see even in accidents or by some diseases, some people does not get to live long. So why? So in this question, he said, killing or taking others' lives, taking lives of other beings, it it causes you short life. And not killing or not taking others' lives, and also saving other lives, it helps you to live long. So that was the first pair of the question: short life versus long life. And the second, sickly or illness. Some people are very ill. Deal with lots of diseases, sick all the time, and some people are healthy. So why some people are sick and some people are healthy? In here, Buddha said, harming people with your hands or things like sticks and stones. It means if you are harming other beings, other living beings, then it causes you to live a sick life, or a life full of disease. And if you are not harming people, helping sick or ill people, then it consequences you for a healthy life. So that's the second pair of the question. And the third pair of the question was not so good looking versus beautiful or handsome. Some people are very attractive, so appealing, very beautiful, and some people are ugly, right? People don't like them either physically or because of the physical appearance, or maybe because of for some reasons people don't like it. So why? So why was the reason? What was the reason behind it? Then Buddha answered that being ill-tempered, easily angered, or malicious, like people who get angry all the time or angry easily, or very aggressive kind of attitude that people carry in his or her life, those people eventually get ugly or people may not like them. And the people who have the patience and not resentful, who is mostly uh, calm and always smiling, people like them, they get attractive, they get beautiful, handsome, people get to like them. So that is the reason behind it. Ill-tempered cause not so good looking, and being patient and calm cause beautiful or handsome. So another pair of the question was, uh, what make a person influence in like influential or no influence? Like Nowadays you see, yeah, lots of YouTubers as well, and lots of people that are very influential. Whatever they say, people follow. And there are some people, no matter what they say, nobody follow, nobody, they are not so much influential. So why? Some people are influential, some people are not. Why? What is the reason behind that? So then the Buddha said that being jealous and holding grudges about other people's success, it causes you non-influential, and not being jealous and actually being happy for others' success or encouraging nature. Those people eventually get influence or influential, people that started to follow them. So you're supposed to be happy when others succeed rather than getting jealous. So that's the reason. And there are people who are poor from birth, and also no matter what they do, they don't get enough, enough things to live a proper, decent life. And some people are rich without working hard. They are rich. So why? Why people are poor and why are people are rich? Why some people get easily lots of fortunes, and some people, no matter how hard they work, they are not getting enough. So what is the reason behind this? So here the Buddha said, not giving things like food, shelter, or helping to needy people. When you are greedy, very unstingy, then that causes you a poor life. And the people who give food, shelter, and help generously, helping needy people, and practicing charity when you are able. So those people eventually get rich. So that is the reason behind getting poor and rich. The more you give, more you get. The less you give, the less you get. That's the motto here. So another pairs of question was low standing versus high standing. What it means is that even in Asian country, you see that we have a caste system. So the people who born in a low caste, they get a low respect, and there are people who are born in a high caste, and everybody just respect because of their uh, lineage. So why? Like even in many other cases, maybe for another reason, people just are high standing and low standing. Why? So what is the reason behind that? Here the Buddha said, being arrogant, stubborn, and disrespect that cause you a low caste or low standing, and being humble and respectful to people who deserve it. So people like them who are humble is eventually going to get born in a high caste, or either their living will be high standing. So that's the reason. And the last pair of the question, some people are just dumb, not so smart, and some people are wise and intelligent. You have seen lots of people. Even in the classroom, there are some students who are very bright, very talented, and some kids, so no matter what we do, they don't get any learnings easily. So why? Like even this question has given me headache in our childhood, because I was a average student, like, and it is true that I do study, not as someone in the kind of someone who is a top student, but still it is difficult for me to understand when teacher is teaching. And there are others, my friends, who don't get anything. Like at least I get something, but they don't get anything. And there are some students, the top students, they get everything. They understand everything. Like why? So it is not just in my case, but it is worldwide issues. Some people are dumb, not so smart, and some people are wise and intelligent. So why? What is the reason behind this? So here the Buddha answered, not seeking for knowledge or asking relevant questions, and especially use of intoxication substances like getting drunk, getting high. So these are the reason that causes you you know, less intellect and seeks for knowledge. The person who seeks for knowledge, befriend with the wise people so they can learn more, and always ready to share their knowledge, their learnings, and someone who does not use any kind of intoxicating substances. So these are the people who are going to get smart, wise, and intelligent. So that's the reason. So these are some 7 pairs of questions that Subha asked, and Buddha answered it shortly. But is it enough? Because in summary, okay, I will just give you a summary first, and then we will discuss further. In summary, I presented Buddha's words on people's differences, but as a reminder, Buddha himself said that do not believe anything just because I say it, but rather wisely think with your own intellect and evaluate with your knowledge, understanding, and your common sense. I brought this phrase because not everyone may believe or consider there is a past life, or is there a past life? So, not everybody is going to believe this past life thing. Some people are a little bit rational, who does not believe in anything they do not understand, and some people are religious and believer. Maybe they believe it, but not everybody. So, uh, therefore, just thinking everything is because of past life's actions that we don't even remember is the cause of the consequences we are dealing with today may not sound right to everyone, which we can criticize with our own reasons. But Buddha gave us an option to critically analyze other possibilities of the actions that we are practicing in this life. So, Buddha emphasizes being concerned with every action or karma we create now, rather than just believing that this is my destiny and we cannot change and just worship the God you believe for liberation or be ignorant. He encourages you to act yourself with consciousness. So, to appeal more generally in our modern world, let's talk about these fears in more modern way. We will look at how these old truths show up in our daily lives and what we can do about them today. So here I present the first one. The first pair was how long you live. So the Buddha's first point is pretty clear. Killing living things or taking life leads to a short life, while not killing and saving lives leads to a long one. At first, it sounds like simple rule against violence, and it is. But in our world today, we can see this in a much deeper way. Buddha's talk about killing isn't just physical violence. It can also be a more sneaky metaphorical violence against our future selves. These days, a lot of research shows how our daily choices affect how long we live. Things we might, things we might not think of as killing, like not getting enough sleep, sitting around all day, or even a chronic lack of social connection, can actually shorten your life. There was even a study that found that a long, stressful commute can negatively impact a woman's lifespan. This is a powerful update to the old teaching. The idea of avoiding physical killing can be seen as the basis for a more subtle principle, avoiding heedlessness. So, heedlessness or just not paying attention to your daily life can be a form of self violence, isn't it? You may think, why? Because when we neglect our physical health or our mental well being or our friends and family, we are in a very real sense, killing our potential for a long and healthy life. As the Buddha said in another text, in the Dhammapada, the heedless are as if dead already. Our choices in what we eat, how we move, or our mental habits are all forms of kamma or karma that shape the length of our journey. Also, moving to the second pair about our health. So, some people are healthy, some people are always dealing with the disease. The second pair says that harming other people leads to a sickly life, or a person that often has to deal with various diseases, while a non harming attitude leads to a good health. While the literal meaning of physical harm is obvious, we can also see this on a bigger, more systemic level today. Organizations like the World Health Organization have identified something called social determinants of health. Things like poverty, lack of good education, and unsafe working environments. These are major factors that lead to widespread illness and shorter lives. You could see these as forms of systemic harm created by policies and decisions that hurt whole communities. On a personal level, this holds true too. The chronic stress and anger that come from a lack of compassion for others have a direct negative effect on our physical health. A mind that's constantly filled with anger and bad will creates a biological environment that's perfect for sickness. On the other hand, a mind that's trained in kindness and compassion brings not just mental peace, but also physical health. Because a calm mind can have a restorative effect on the body. The teaching is a timeless reminder that our actions, both big and small, create the condition for either sickness or health. So let me crack one humor for today's context. So one day, a stressed out tech worker rushed into a meditation app's customer supporting chat and typed, "My Apple Watch says my resting heart rate is up. My cortisol is spiking and my lifespan is shrinking. How do I stop killing my future self?" Then AI replied, "Please practice digital metta. Close 3 tabs. Take a mindful walk away from the screen. And remember, scrolling angrily is the new commit of needlessness. Your future self will thank you with extra years." So, I hope you understood this joke. Okay, so let's move to the third pair about the appearances and the vibe. Buddha said that a person who is ill tempered and easily angered becomes ugly, while a patient and non irritable person becomes beautiful. Now, he is not talking about being a movie star. He is talking about the quality of your presence. Constant hostility and tendency to snap at people create a state that's projected outward, making a person's vibe and social interactions unpleasant. Research shows that things like chronic disease and social isolations are all connected. A person who is constantly hostile creates a toxic environment that people naturally avoid, which leads to being isolated. The teaching on being beautiful can be seen as cultivating a peaceful and appealing presence that comes from inner peace and patience. A person who even when criticized doesn't get annoyed or angry radiates a quality that is universally attractive. This is the beauty of calm and controlled mind, which shine through your whole attitude and make you a welcome presence anywhere you go. For example, you know how some bosses are just miserable to be around, the ones who are always stressed and snap at everyone. Imagine a junior employee makes a tiny mistake. A kind of boss yells at them in front of everyone. It makes the whole team feel awful. People get quite, stop sharing ideas and start looking for other jobs. The boss becomes isolated because nobody wants to talk to them. That's what the Buddha means by an ugly vibe. It pushes people away. Now think about a good boss. Some same pressure, same mistake, but this boss pulls the employee aside and says, "Hey, no big deal. Let's fix it together." That calm reaction makes the team feel safe and respected. People stick around, they collaborate, and they do great work. Everyone wants to be on that boss's team. That's the beautiful vibe. It has nothing to do with looks. It's an inner calm that makes people feel good and attract success. So, continuing to the fourth pair was about your influence, right? So, what about this influential people? This part of teaching says that a person who is jealous and holds grudges about other people's success become uninfluential, while someone who is happy for others becomes influential. In our world today, influence is tied to trust and respect, not just authority. Jealousy is a powerful negative emotion that can lead to aggression and constant worry, which directly destroys the trust needed for true influence. The ancient teaching here is a direct reflection of modern social psychology. A person who secretly resents a co-worker's promotion or a friend's new house can't build the genuine trust needed to lead and inspire others. People will just see their actions and words with suspicion. This is a subtle but powerful reminder. Being happy for others is not just a kind act, but a smart one too. It builds trust and strengthens your network, which are the real foundation of lasting influence. So let me present another joke here about the jealousy. Let's say, okay, being jealous of someone's success is like booing your Wi-Fi for connecting faster in their route. Calm down. It's the same router. So sometimes, people get a little bit jealous that the same router is producing, faster connection to another room rather than, rather being happy that is faster, you get, sad. Like what? Now you get unhappy for, come on. Once it gets slow, then it affects to you as well. So jealousy is not good. So that is what Buddha is about to teach. And the jealousy is the reason that you lack influence in the world. So forward to the fifth pair, which is about your wealth. Yeah. So some people are rich, some people are poor. The Buddha's teaching on wealth is a fascinating one. He said that a person who doesn't give food, drink, and other necessities to the needy and does not practice generosity become poor eventually, while a generous person becomes rich. This might sound a little weird at first. How can giving money away make you wealthy? The idea here is that you are creating a mindset of abundance. A person who gives freely and generously isn't thinking from place of scarcity. They are building a belief in a world where there is enough to share. This ancient wisdom as a modern echo in the world of finance. Giving to charity is now a major part of smart financial planning, with many donors using it not just to help causes they care about, but also to get significant financial benefits like tax deductions. It shows that giving isn't just a selfless act without a return, but a wise and skillful action that actually creates a powerful return, both for the community and for you. For example, for knowing, let me remind some incidents. During the COVID-19 pandemic, in many countries, ordinary people with modest means stepped up to help their neighbors. For instance, in India and especially in Nepal, as I know, many families cooked extra meals each day and let them outside for migrant workers or those who couldn't afford food. And some people were also, providing meals to a large people who are low paid workers, so they get their meal every day, even in the lockdown. Interestingly, those who gave even while struggling themselves often reported that they didn't lose anything. Instead, they felt a deeper sense of security, joy, and belonging. Their communities also remembered and respected their kindness, which created support networks that benefited them later on. From the Buddha's teaching, this is exactly how generosity builds true wealth, not just in money, but in goodwill, trust, and inner peace. And in practical terms, these acts often came back as help in times of their own need. Neighbors sharing food, helping with medical expenses, or giving work opportunities. So, let's move to the sixth peer, which is about your standing and the respect you get or you receive. According to the teaching, an arrogant and stubborn person is reborn into a family with low standing or low caste, while a humble and respectful person is reborn into a family with high standing. We can translate here as low born and high born into a modern context as a person who lacks social standing and respect versus one who has it. Research on leadership proves this teaching. Arrogance, which is an inflated opinion of one's own abilities, is a recipe for failure. Let's look at case studies of executives whose arrogance and unwillingness to listen to others contributed to their company's downfall. The teaching emphasizes that humility and respect for those who are worthy of it aren't signs of weakness. They are the basic building blocks for leadership and social success. A person who refuses to show respect to those who deserve it breaks down social connections and loses the trust of others. This teaching is basically an ancient business case study on why intellectual humility is must have for success. Just for your laugh, here is another humor. Why did the arrogant executive get reborn as a lowborn? Because he thought he was the whole company or chart, but humility would have made him chairman of the board. So after that, let's move to the seventh peer, your intelligence and wisdom. Finally, the Buddha taught that a person who isn't eager to ask question becomes witless, while a person who seeks out knowledge and wisdom becomes wise. This is the most important pair, isn't it? It shows the crucial difference between just passively taking in information and actively trying to understand it. True wisdom isn't just knowing a bunch of facts. It's a dynamic quality that grows through curiosity and continuous search for deeper understanding. This point is beautifully explained in another teaching, the Avakujya Sutra, which uses three metaphors to describe different types of listener. So the first one is the upside down pot. The pot, that holds water. So the pot is upside down. So Buddha used this metaphor. How? This is the person who listens to a talk but has a completely closed off mind, just like water poured on an upside down pot runs right off without a single drop being kept. This person gets nothing from the talk. They're in body but not in mind. It's like scrolling through a news feed but not remembering anything you read. So this is the first metaphor. The person who has the mindset of the upside down pot. So the second metaphor he used is the wisdom on the lap portion. While you are sitting, there is a lap and you keep something. And here Buddha says that this person is a step up from the first one. They listen closely and get the top while they are speaking. But the moment they get up, all the information is gone, like food held in your lap that drops when you stand. This is a perfect example of our modern digital life. We listen to a constant stream of information from podcasts to social media, but we retain very little of it. So this is the second metaphor. And the third metaphor he uses is the portion of widespread wisdom, like a pot which is in exact form and keep right. So this is the ideal student. They listen, understand, and remember the teaching, carrying it with them and using it in their lives even after they leave the monastery or the place where they learn. It's like someone who not only learns a new skill but consistently puts it into practice every day. So the person is you know keeping all the waters. The first person now letting go all the waters. The second person listen and then stand up, and then all the learning go right away. And the third person, he just not just listen but practicing. So he will consistently, keep developing his skills and knowledge. So these are some metaphorical examples given by Buddha in his teaching called Avakujya Sutta. This teaching shows that the real path to wisdom isn't about being a passive consumer of information, but an active, engaged student of life. So, as a conclusion, the last word, a call to action of all these teaching I presented here with the light of Cūḻakammavibhaṅga Sutra. So the message of the Cūllakammavibhaṅga Sutra is a powerful one. It reminds us that our life isn't a lottery where some are lucky and others aren't. It's a garden and we are the gardeners. The circumstances we are born into might be the soil, but our actions are the seeds we plant. Every thought, word, and actions is a choice that affects the harvest we'll get. This is a deep and empowering idea. It's a call to move beyond a victim mentality and to become the conscious architects of our own lives. The final message isn't a warning, but a powerful call to action. The Buddha himself said in the Dhammapada, Attahi attano natho kohi natho karosya, which means no one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. Buddha only shows the way. The path isn't easy, but it is a clear one. Heedfulness is our compass and wisdom is our guide. So let's choose our action wisely. Let's choose compassion over violence, health over harm, patience over anger, joy over jealousy, generosity over greed, humility over arrogance, and most importantly, the active pursuit of wisdom over just sitting back and being ignorant. Because as the Buddha taught, mindfulness is the path to freedom. Let's all walk that path for our own sake and for the sake of everyone around us. Thank you very much for listening this insightful uh, discourse of Cūḻakammavibhaṅga Sutra, which give you some meaningful answers uh, toward the differentiation we see in our world, and hope we will join again in another interesting topic. Thank you very much. May you all be happy, healthy, and strong. Bhavatu Sabba Mangala.